but also trying to solve our country's problems. And to no avail, we're still working on it, but I have faith that Don's going to help us solve some of those issues. But Don's asked me to address a few of the issues from the perspective of a millennial or Generation Yer, those born between the 1980s to early 2000s. So I'm going to heed to the short and sweet speech and just take the three main issues, and it should come as no surprise to anybody here that the first major issue that our country faces is economic in nature, and twofold, I might add. The first is out of control spending. Today, our country is in debt $17.5 trillion. That wasn't even a number when I was growing up. Trillion? Who's heard of that? But today that's where we're at. The second is a broken tax system. According to a study conducted by the IRS themselves, Americans as a whole spend 6.1 billion hours a year preparing their taxes. Just for comparison purposes, that's equivalent to 3 million workers working full-time for an entire year to do their taxes. Walmart employs 1.4 billion workers in the U.S., so twice that. The second issue that's of concern to me, or my generation, is big government. Prime example of this is the healthcare legislation that's just been passed. Yes, since our government's been so successful in managing Medicare, Medicaid, the Postal Service, and the welfare system, they thought they were the best qualified to manage our healthcare as well. So just a quick side note on that. An investigation was conducted concerning new VA hospitals, one in Orlando, Las Vegas, Denver, and New Orleans. Combined, the cost overruns of those facilities is around $1.5 billion, and each project individually is behind by around 35 months. That's just how efficient big government can be. The third, and probably the biggest overwhelming problem, and they teach you this a little bit in business school, to try to find the underlying problem and not concentrate on overlying issues. For example, a company is losing money. The problem the company is facing is not that it's losing money. No, the problem is much deeper than that. The company's real problem is that it sells a commodity-type product. One of its competitors has figured out a way to purchase that product cheaper than everybody else, and as a result, the competitor is undercutting the business in price, which has led to a loss in customers, resulting in a reduction of sales, and ultimately leading to a loss in revenue. The United States can be assessed in much the same way. The real problem are not the things that I've previously mentioned. The real problem is that we have no leadership in Washington. Those leaders don't have the power to tell other people or themselves, no, we live in a yes society today. Yes, let's frivolously spend money on some government program that's going nowhere. Yes, let's make new laws that stifle business as to not offend it. And lastly, yes, let's give these groups a handout because we gave these other group a handout last week, and after all, we have to be fair. Let's be fair about this. So the bottom line is we need a change in leadership in order to change all the underlying issues. And we need somebody in office that's going to stand up for what's right and go against the grain, go against what's typically been done. Don has promised me that he's willing to do that, and for that, I'm willing to stand behind.